And for me, that was God's confirmation of what was to be my goal in life and where he was calling me to go. And there may be some this morning who this text is a confirmation of something God is calling you to do. But as we said before, this text isn't about extracting ourselves from the world, but changing our focus in it while we're living in it. The message this morning transcends our job. Godliness and righteousness are to be pursued wherever we are. To flee is to change focus. Fleeing describes a dramatic choice. I'll no longer dabble, no longer entertain curiosity on these things. My focus is going to be on something greater. What we really want, what we have given our hearts to, will have our attention. We will look at what we're interested in. And this is really important because when you're traveling, usually what your eye is on is what you'll hit. And right now, there was going to be a bit of a funny clip, and I forgot to bring it. But the funny clip, I'll describe for you, was just a picture of someone learning to ride a bike. And I can tell you, this wasn't a clip of me, but it was kind of famous folklore in my household, and you've probably got similar stories about your kids. When you're teaching them to ride a bike, I was taken down to Jamison Reserve down in Penrith. It was a netball courts. Big open spaces. And you know what happened, don't you? Riding, and I hit the netball post. And that set me going again, and I hit the netball post. Because the thing that I kept looking at is what you hit. And I had a video of someone else doing that, but anyway, I didn't bring it this morning. So we're to flee. An urgent, conscious choice to aim and travel in a different direction. To pursue godliness, righteousness, faith, love, gentleness, and perseverance. Next, we're told to fight the good fight of the faith. Anyone who's attempted to live life keeping their focus on God and pursuing God's purposes in their life, seeking that his attitudes and passions will be ours. Maybe that's more helpful if I say that the other way. Seeking that what we're passionate about and what our attitudes are like are the same as his. Knows that this is a fight. It's not easy, is it? Okay, you guys all find it easy. I don't find it easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. Earlier in the chapter, Paul spoke of people engaged in meaningless fights. You know what it's like where you have an argument with someone over something that in the end really, really doesn't matter. And he was talking about that kind of situation. But then he contrasts that with this one and he says, no, this is a good fight. This is the good fight of faith. Give your best effort into the most worthwhile of struggles. Put your energy in growing like Jesus, cooperating with his Holy Spirit and fulfilling his purposes here for you on earth. This fight to journey in faith is a fight where our life and our soul are at stake. And to me, the fight of faith is about being resolved that my life is to pursue godliness, righteousness, faithfulness, love, gentleness, perseverance, all those characteristics of God. My absolute goal is to see Jesus' purpose is fulfilled in my life and for my life to bring him honor. And this is where the fight bit comes in. That's going to be my goal. The fight bit is to that end of seeing Jesus' purposes fulfilled in my life. I will do whatever it takes. I will resist what I've got to resist. I'll turn away from what I've got to turn away from. I'll do whatever it takes to see that end come about in my life. And as a parent, that can sometimes mean making a tough call for our children as well. Doing whatever it takes to help us keep walking in the right direction as a family. When we were faced with a tough choice just last week, Callum, many of you know, Callum plays guitar and he practices every day. He's working on these songs that his teacher's got him doing and whatnot. And really it's just week in, week out practice for personal enjoyment. There's one concert a year. There was an extra one put on this year. And his teacher put on this fundraiser, and it was a fundraiser for the local public school. And it was on during church time though, on a Sunday. And that raised a bit of a dilemma for us. Here's Callum working hard and learning all these songs. Now, if he didn't come to church for one Sunday, he's not going to get struck down by lightning or anything. And the event itself isn't evil. Like, they're singing really cool songs. And there's nothing wrong with the songs he's singing. And the event is to raise money for a local school, and that's a noble thing to be part of. But we had to ask ourselves in the end, if our desire, above everything else, is to live for Jesus and have his purposes fulfilled in our lives and in our kids' lives, then although it was a one-off thing, this may not be bad. Is it pointing our feet in a direction that isn't good? And if it is, then we're not going to go there. We need to fight the fight of faith, keeping our feet in check. We may not have committed adultery, but are our feet pointing in the right direction? We may not be murderers, but are our feet on the path of growing in grace, practicing forgiveness, and being a maker of peace in our relationships? Is that the path we're walking? It is a fight that the Holy Spirit will help us to keep up and emerge victorious. At the end of his life, Paul's able to tell Timothy this. He says, my life has been poured out as an offering for God. That doesn't sound like someone being half-hearted about it. My life was poured out as an offering to God. I've fought the good fight, and I've finished the race, and I have remained faithful. And now the prize awaits for me. And this brings us to our final point. We're to flee, we're to choose to aim and travel by God's direction. We're to fight, giving all our energy to pursue God's purposes for us. And Paul's last word for us is to grab hold. Grab hold of the life you are called to live. The gift of Jesus is new life with him now and forever. The life that goes along with the flow is destined to hit the rocks. Jesus calls us to take hold of a new life. And if we were to talk about this passage in the athletic terms again, like Paul does, we hear Paul saying, grab hold of the prize. It's not just, yes, would you please come forward and accept your prize today? Paul's saying it quite ferociously and energetically, grab hold of the prize. And he's talking about desire. He's talking about ambition even. Get your hands on the prize and don't let go. We talked earlier about the danger of going along with the flow of people chasing money or chasing possessions or chasing position. Then we talk about pursuing godliness instead. And it can seem as though we would say then all ambition is evil. If chasing money and power and position, that's bad, and we just say chase godliness, it can seem that all ambition is evil. That causes problems for me because I think, well, when I was a student, I would think, do I have to try hard at school then? If all that matters is if I love Jesus and if I become a good person? Does it matter if I'm fruitful at work? Or if I give my best using the talents that I've got? Just like as it was wrong to equate pursuing godliness with abandoning the world and isolating ourselves, it is also wrong to equate pursuing godliness with abandoning ambition. Pursuing godliness is likely to